They discovered it, they read it, and they applied it. It's the golden thread that connects the titans of the self-development industry, the source that spawned millions of millionaires, the original blueprint to success.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's a classic. A classic.
And I love Think and Grow Rich. I love it. It's right here. I mean, it's one of my favorite books of all time.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
This material is what changed my life. This is the material I study every day. From being an immigrant woman, coming from poverty, and really coming to America and literally achieving the American dream. I can't even tell you how grateful I am for this man, for what he did for me and my family.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
People don't realize is that when we let our ego get in our way, ego is the loss, the fear of loss. So need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be hurt, fearful. When that trajectory changes, what happens is you continually go the wrong way. So my job as a coach is to say, let's get into the enjoyment of the direct pursuit of my potential. Right? And so when the light went on, it was not about the potential of making money and being an entrepreneur, which is one of my specialties. And I said to him, look, this is an opportunity now to show how great you really are. We can't let the outside voices, right, determine our success. The happiness that we have comes within. Why are you going to give that control to somebody else?
Thoughts become things. And I always wonder, why did no one teach us this? Why did we not learn this in school? Why did we not learn this from our families? If you make your study a priority, your life will change.
And I came up with 4 really valuable things that I took stock in. And the first one was gratitude. Simple gratitude. Although I grew up with nothing, I was always grateful. Throughout the whole process of consistently, persistently pursuing my potential, I was grateful. It made my past better, my present brighter, and my future even brighter than that. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you want to change your life, change your employee's life, your family life, it's very simple. 2 words, say thank you.
We are back and better than ever. This is one of my favorite trainings that I do, and it's truly one of the easiest ways to change your life. It's the meaning of the past training. And before we get started, I want to remind everyone that if you'd like the exercises, guides in this training, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com, david@dmeltzer.com. So love to share this with you. We will be in New York next week. We'll be at Mar-a-Lago. Got a couple extra spots if you'd like to join us there. New York City, Meetups Holding Court. Of course, our special intimate dinner with the Aspire executives. If you're interested in the Aspire tour, if you're interested in the real estate and tax benefits of working with us, come and join us in New York or Mar-a-Lago. And then I'll be in San Diego with Marshall Falk. Come and join us there on Friday. All right, big week next week. Let's get started with our meaning of the past training. We don't suffer from the present. There is no suffering in the present. We suffer from the meaning that we give, the relativity that we give and carry forward into the present and even into our future. Our past isn't a place that we've left. It's truly a lens that we're still wearing. When we forget that, we drain our energy, interfere with our energy, trying to manage imagined threats, imagined struggles and suffering, overcorrecting for yesterday instead of executing today. So many high achievers I work with aren't fearless. We're practiced at seeing reality as neutral, as choosing the meaning that serves our mission in our divine direction, allowing the discipline to become devotional by paying attention and giving intention to the coincidences that are coinciding in this meaning. These 6 lessons today, which will be available for everyone, david@dmeltzer.com, will help us to do exactly that. We'll cancel the story, clear the distortion, and connect to the moment where performance actually lives. We will restore our power by owning the only things we truly control: our attention, our intention, our interpretation, and our next action. When we lead with presence, foresight becomes a tool instead of a trap, and peace actually becomes practical. Lesson number 1 of the meaning of the past training is reality is neutral. Meaning is assigned. Our energy gets interfered with when we treat events, people, and circumstances as if they have built-in meaning. Reality is neutral, and our lens adds that story. We see a slow email reply. Let me see here. And assume that rejection is on its way, when it may just be that time, emotion, and value has changed for the moment, that our client that we're waiting on may just have other things to do, other things to prioritize, but we'll get to responding to our email when it suits them best. It does not mean what we think it means. We assign that meaning. And most of the time, we assign the meaning to interfere with the neutrality of the divine direction, of the true coincidence that is occurring. This creates an expectation that the evidence that's presented in the present isn't neutral, that the evidence that's presented in the present is interfering with or not aligned with where we want to be, when it actually has to be. When we assign the meaning, we can reassign the meaning. And so take those circumstances that exist, those uncertainties that exist, and give it a meaning aligned with your divine direction, not interfering with it. In 2008, I lost over $100 million and went bankrupt. I reassigned the meaning of that experience from being the worst thing that could ever happen to one of promotion, protection, love, and perfection, to one of redemption, to one of resilience, to one of opportunity. Let us write the neutral facts when circumstances occur that we feel the meaning is not aligned. Let us write the story and add the meaning that is aligned in our devotional divine direction. Let us replace it with the useful, testable assumptions that will lead us to where we want to be or better, not limit us or interfere with our potential. When we realize reality is just neutral until meaning is assigned, and that we give meaning to everything we see and control that meaning, we are putting ourselves at a detriment to where we want to be. If you'd like the first lesson, david@dmeltzer.com. Lesson number 2, we project the past onto the present. So not only do we give meaning to the past and must align it with our divine direction of where we want to be or better, but we actually have to be aware that we're projecting our past failures, setbacks, mistakes, defining moments, historical relevances onto the present. We're not reacting to what is, we're reacting to what was. Past meanings are that which create fear and hesitation and overcorrection and interfere with our own potential, limits our own self-image, notating we will never overachieve our own self-image. Past failed launch leads us to overbuild features instead of shipping a simple MVP now. So many times we take the failures, setbacks, mistakes, defining moments, historical relevances, and we overcorrect them, overbuild instead of moving forward, allowing past meaning to project onto our present decisions. Remember that familiar doesn't equal true. The past is a lens, not a leader. I'm going to repeat that. Your past is merely just a lens. It's not a leader. Familiar does not equal true. So many of us label triggers as quote unquote learned, not true. We must ask ourselves, what else could this mean? What else could this mean today, aligned with where I want to be or better? How can I create the behaviors aligned with it, and what behaviors are interfering with it? We must make at least one present focused move each and every time to make a call, create a demo, ship something, promote it, protect it, love it, and perfect it. We are not reacting to what is. We are reacting to what was. We must examine the meanings of our past. And we must look for the clues, the patterns, and the choices that we're making because of the past meanings that are creating that interference. We not only give meaning to the past, but we project that meaning of the past onto the present. The past is a lens, not a leader. Familiar does not equal true. If you'd like the exercise for lesson 2, we project the past onto the present, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. All righty. Lesson number 3. Our thoughts are signals, not commands. Anxious thoughts many times feel like authoritative, but most are simply a conditioned reflex, a memory loop, not a mandate. Before we move forward with our big meetings, our big pitches, so many of us think we always choke. It never works out for me. It's never going to get funded. And we let that thought set our behavioral path, our divine direction. So many people look to what they don't want, what they don't have, what other people want for them, what social media wants for them. And then they are resentful and guilty when they get what other people want for them, what social media wants for them, what's missing, what they don't have. You must align not only the attention of what you think you want, but the intention by doing, saying, thinking, feeling, and believing aligned in that divine direction. This is how we create the coincidences, the signals, the frequency, not the commandments, not the mandates. We don't have to obey what we observe. We can create, coordinate, and work with the universe for all that we desire, those coincidences, by paying attention and giving intention to all that we observe. It's very helpful if we tag our thoughts. If we tag our thoughts and then provide the meaning and then look for the clues, the patterns, the choices, the signals, not the commandments. If we tag our thoughts, is this a thought from the past? Is this a thought from projection? Or is this a useful thought? Is this a devotional thought? Is this a divine thought in the trajectory aligned with where I want to be or better? When we tag our thoughts as past, projection, or useful, it allows us only to act on the useful. We must return to our breath to reset our state. Take 60 seconds. Learn about different breathing mechanisms in order to take our time in examining what types of thoughts that we have before we take action, before we make adjustments. The types of thoughts that we have are past, projection, and useful. Take time to breathe, to find the clues, the patterns, and the choices to be useful. It is our thoughts that are the preeminent seeds of our future. For us to feel, believe, think, and say, and do in alignment with the coincidences, not the commandments, the coinciding of the universe. We must look for the clues, the patterns, and the choices because our thoughts are merely signals. They are not commandments. They are not mandates. They are memory loops. They're conditioned reflexes that allow us to feel authoritative and even when we're not. Make sure we look for what we want, what we need, where we want to be, not what's missing, not what you don't have, not what other people want for you or social media. Thoughts are merely signals. Lesson number 3. If you'd like the exercise or guide for lesson number 3, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Lesson 4. We are rarely upset for the reasons we think. Upset has no size. There's no good or bad upset. Interference is upset. Dis-ease is upset. And we are rarely upset for the reasons we think. These interfering emotions, these misattributed emotions, lead to misaligned or interfering actions. When we know I am, we look for what we're doing to interfere with I am. But if we misattribute these emotions and misalign these actions, we fix the wrong problem and we waste the infinite energy, the momentum. So many times we say we're mad at some sort of circumstances like pricing pushbacks or negotiations that aren't working out to where we think we want to be or better. But the real trigger is not what's going on in the present. It's an old story. One of the oldest stories that I hear all the time is one of worthiness. I'm not worth it. It never happens for me. I'm unlucky. The pain feels real. The cause is often imaginary. We borrow meaning because we're rarely upset for the reasons that we think. So when we don't know, the imaginary meaning feels like the cause of the pain that feels real. We love to name the real trigger to identity, betrayal, failure, resentment, guilt, separation, inferiority, superiority. And when we do, we must utilize a process of reframing. This is feedback. This is a lesson. It is not punishment and not a verdict. When we choose one behavior that provides new meaning and ask clarifying questions to hold the situation or offer other suggestions or other meanings, we are freeing ourselves by aligning our emotions with the divine direction. We're fixing the right problem and not interfering with our momentum. We give meaning to everything we see, but we rarely are upset or in dis-ease or interfering with where we want to be for the reasons we think, because the reasons we think are attributed to circumstances of the day or people or outstanding information, where the real pain exists not in the cause that's imaginary, borrowed meaning, but in the empowering position of giving meaning to everything that we see. We can choose the upset, and we can choose the reason we think. All upsets are the same size because they all interfere with the omniscient, all powerful, all knowing energy, infinite intuition, intelligence, and inspiration that we are part of, a unified, abundant, infinite system of thought. Lesson number 4, we're rarely upset for the reasons we think. If you like this exercise and guide as well, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Lesson number 5, presence beats prediction. Strategic foresight will certainly help you in all of the quantitative man-made constructs in business and in personal life. Obsessive prediction paralyzes, though. So many of us put our emotions, our attention, and intention on the outcomes and create an obsessive prediction paralysis. Execution, doing it now, lives in the present. 100% of the things you do now get done. Always reminding me of my favorite statistic that 99% of all statistics are made up. This one's not made up. 100% of the things you do now or do next gets done. That's why execution lives in the present. Prediction lives in the past and in the future. And the obsessive prediction that most people utilize to give themselves some sort of strategic foresight paralyzes or interferes with the present. We must study our competitors, study them for the capabilities that they have, make ourselves equal, then make ourselves different, instead of calling on 5 new customers that we could learn from, serve from, provide value with. So many times we're putting our attention and intention on non-prioritized, non-essential competitors instead of calling the current trajectory of who we can learn from and who we can provide value for and through. We must trust that future solutions will emerge even though they're not present today. We must trust that this too shall pass and that we are protected, promoted, loved, and perfected, and that if we use that trust to continue to take action today, instead of what most people do, to use it to justify inaction, looking for certainty that never exists. There is no certainty in tomorrow other than 24 hours. God's guarantee, 24 hours a day, is yours. We must have controllable, non-negotiable daily behaviors that are aligned with the divine direction and aligned with the meaning of the past. In those behaviors, which I'm happy to send to you, lies your control of knowing your what. What do you want personally, today in the present? Personally, professionally, giving wise and receiving wise, today, according to the circumstances of the day, aligning the meaning of the past and the divine direction that takes the discipline that you have. Where I see so many people I work with, they're so busy working, they forget to make money. They love to be busy, but they have no devotion in that discipline, and they never reach their divine potential. We time box so many times, 20, 30 minutes to start before we're ready. We waste so much time visiting with people we don't want to visit with, that we don't have time to visit with the people that we do want to visit with. We end each of these time blocks with, what's the smallest next step? We must live in the present by aligning the meaning of the past, by knowing our what, our who, our how, our now, and applying our why. This is how the present will beat the predictions. The future solutions will emerge if you seek the wisdom of others and have faith that you don't know what you don't know. Faith that even though the circumstances, the evidence look contrary to where we want to be or better, we're being protected, promoted, loved, and perfected each and every time. Because it is truly the present that beats the prediction. If you'd like the guide or exercise for lesson 5, Presence Beats Predictions, please email me, david@dmeltzer.com. The 6th lesson, one of my favorite lessons that can be utilized in all of your personal lives, in the entire human existence. Cancel, clear, connect. The lifelong practice of being at ease. We need a repeatable, certain way to replace the borrowed meaning with presence so that our ease, our peace, and our performance become not only consistent, but allow us to enjoy the consistent every day, persistent without quit, pursuit of our potential. A tense message always arrives. But this time, instead of firing back, we run the protocol to cancel, clear, and connect. And we do not move until we are at ease. We stop with the tenseness. We drop to center at ease, and we roll into the right trajectory, into our divine direction. We must remind ourselves when we cancel the negative words, actions, thoughts, beliefs, when we clear our mind of the negative, repetitive, subconscious reinforcement of these beliefs, and when we connect to goodness, when we connect to your God, when we clear the interference between us and the omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source, the infinite, abundant, unified system that we belong to, we realize through canceling and clearing and connecting that the past has one meaning. The past has one meaning, that it should teach us, not lead us. We must find the light, the love, and the lessons in the past to define our self-image and define our divine direction, to take our discipline and apply our why into a devotional movement towards where we want to be or better. Cancel the stories that need to be unlearned. Just because they were learned doesn't mean they're true. We must unlearn the ones that are interfering with our potential. We must unlearn the ones that are interfering with where we want to be or better. We must unlearn the ones that are the way of our happiness, our health, our wealth, and our worthiness. And if we can't cancel them, then we must clear our subconscious mind from the repetitive, inherent, energetic, and genetic inherited thoughts, words, meanings, beliefs. We clear the meaning by asking ourselves, what else could this mean? And is that meaning aligned with my divine direction or interfering with it? When we do this, we choose neutrality first. It is powerful, not forceful. Neutrality is powerful, not forceful. And if we can't cancel what is learned and not true, and we can't clear the meaning as we hope for, we know it must sit within the unconscious competency, within our own DNA, and it is genetic and energetic hardwiring. So we must connect now. We must stop, drop, and roll and breathe, observe, then decide. We need to stop when we're interfering with our potential, the response to the reaction to fear. We must drop and breathe and observe and connect, remembering, reminding, and reconnecting with our source, your God, and then decide how to roll in the divine direction of where we think we want to be or better. And then we must repeat this daily until our energy shifts, until it becomes automatic. Cancel what we do, say, think, feel, and believe that's not aligned with where you are. Clear the subconscious things that are stuck day by day. 80% of your subconscious thoughts are repetitive and unfortunately negative. Replace them with the meaning of positivity, with light, love, and lessons in mind, knowing that the past should only teach us, not lead us. When we cancel, when we clear, and when we connect. If you would like the exercise and guides from lesson number 6, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Our growth accelerates the moment we stop asking, why am I being punished? Why did this happen to us? We must start asking ourselves, what meaning are we bringing to this? Because the past can teach us, it cannot lead us. When we treat thoughts as signals, not commands, understanding that reality is neutral, not threatening, we free up the energy to serve, to create, and to execute. We must remember these 6 lessons, which I'm more than happy to send you, david@dmeltzer.com, to lead with presence, allowing foresight to become a tool instead of a trap, and peace becomes practical because meaning is assigned and reality is neutral. We project the past onto the present. Our thoughts are just signals and not commandments, and we're really rarely upset for the reasons we think. Understanding presence is not prediction, and it beats it every time, because we must cancel, we must clear, and we must connect. That practice is simple and repeatable. I do it every day. I cancel what I say, do, think, feel, and believe that's not aligned. I clear the subconscious mind, and I connect to that which is omniscient, all-powerful, and all-knowing. I cancel the borrowed stories. I clear the distorted meanings, and I connect to the smallest next step that we could take right now. That's how you turn consistency into confidence, confidence into capability, and capability into impact. We don't need a new future. We need a new relationship with our past so our best decisions can happen in the only place they ever can, the present. This has been the Meaning of the Past training. If you like the guides, exercises, my book, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I want to once again invite you to come join us with the Napoleon Hill Institute in New York City. We'll be there next week. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I forgot about I'm filming at Los Alamitos tomorrow. Come and join me there. Go Fund Yourself, the #1 show on Cheddar. Then New York City. Then Mar-a-Lago. Come and join me with the executives of Aspire, an intimate, high-level discussion event and dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Come and join me the next day in San Diego with Marshall Falk, incredible Hall of Fame running back. Then to Las Vegas for season 10 of Office Hours. And then to SoFi Stadium Mastermind with Wolfgang Puck and Tim Story and myself and many, many more. If you want to be informed or invited, join our text community, 949-298-2905. If you don't want to be informed or invited, do not text me at 949-298-2905. Remember, most importantly, to be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Hit it, Gigi.
They discovered it, they read it, and they applied it. It's the golden thread that connects the titans of the self-development industry. the source that spawned millions of millionaires, the original blueprint to success.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's a classic. A classic.
And I love Think and Grow Rich. I love it. It's right here. I mean, it's one of my favorite books of all time.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
This material is what changed my life. This is the material I study every day. From being an immigrant woman, coming from poverty, and really coming to America and literally achieving the American dream. I can't even tell you how grateful I am for this man, for what he did for me and my family.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
People don't realize is that when we let our ego get in our way, ego is the loss, the fear of loss. So need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be hurt, fearful. When that trajectory changes, what happens is you continually go the wrong way. So my job as a coach is to say, let's get into the enjoyment of the direct pursuit of my potential. Right? And so when the light went on, it was not about the potential of making money and being an entrepreneur, which is one of my specialties. And I said to him, look, this is an opportunity now to show how great you really are. We can't let the outside voices, right, determine our success. The happiness that we have comes within. Why are you going to give that control to somebody else?
Thoughts become things. And I always wonder, why did no one teach us this? Why did we not learn this in school? Why did we not learn this from our families? If you make your study a priority, your life will change.
And I came up with 4 really valuable things that I took stock in. And the first one was gratitude. Simple gratitude. Although I grew up with nothing, I was always grateful. Throughout the whole process of consistently, persistently pursuing my potential, I was grateful. It made my past better, my present brighter, and my future even brighter than that. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you want to change your life, change your employee's life, your family life, it's very simple. 2 words, say thank you.